If Garcia somehow pulls off the upset, oh my gosh. I might as well just quit commentary and leave the game alone, man. I'm not gonna lie because I just don't see it happening. I really don't see it happening.
They just dance for that. There we go. Throw it right here. Oh!
That was Timothy Bradley weeks before Devin fought Ryan Garcia. He said if Ryan beats Devin, he may as well retire. Keyword, he may. So he not necessarily saying he will. Nevertheless, as soon as Ryan beat Devin Haney, he told Timothy Bradley to keep his word and retire. Well, Timothy Bradley responded to Ryan Garcia on a Sean interview where he said, first of all, you didn't beat Devin Haney on an even playing field. That changes the game. Timothy Bradley said when he made that statement, that was before the weigh-in. So, of course, his opinion changed when Ryan Garcia on purpose missed weight by 3.2 pounds in order to have an advantage on Devin Haney. This is what Timothy Bradley said. He pointed out how Ryan Garcia planned all of this, since the last 3.2 pounds is the hardest to get out of your system. So while Devin Haney had to kill himself to make weight, which that took something out of him being drained, Ryan, on the other hand, chose not to do that and break the boxing rules to have an advantage against Devin Haney. That helped him tremendously because Devin Haney wasn't as big, healthy, or as strong as Ryan Garcia on fight night. So due to that, the fight was not on an even playing field, and Ryan doesn't get the full credit for beating Devin Haney. So he doesn't have to retire because of that. He doesn't have to hold his end of the bargain since Ryan didn't beat Devin Haney on an even playing field. This was Timothy Bradley's argument. I'm about to play the clip in a little bit because he explained a whole lot of different things, such as the last 3.2 pounds is significant. We're not talking about 3.2 pounds that you're going to hydrate. That's not it. We're talking about 3.2 pounds you have to cut. The last 3.2 pounds, which weakens the fighter tremendously if they are struggling to make weight like Devin Haney. So Timothy Bradley asked the $1 million question to all of the fans that's questioning his take, which is, if the 3.2 pounds was not significant, it's not a big deal according to you guys, then why didn't Ryan Garcia make the weight? Instead, he paid $1.5 million for 3.2 pounds. That's a rhetorical question. We all know what time it is. To Ryan, that 3.2 pounds was worth more than $1.5 million. He probably would have had paid $5 million for that. Also, Timothy Bradley pointed out that the only reason why Devin Haney agreed to Ryan changing the weight to 143 last minute was because he had no choice. The fans was going to call him a coward. The promoters and DAZN was going to be mad at him because they spent a lot of money on the fight. Therefore, he had no choice but to do that. Now, Ryan, on the other hand, if he truly couldn't make the weight like he was claiming, then he would have had gave Devin Haney a heads up a week before the fight, 3 days before the fight, or a day before the fight when he bet Devin Haney $500K per pound that he was going to make weight. That's how confident he was. However, Ryan waited on Friday before he got on the scale to let Devin Haney know that he was going to be 3.2 pounds overweight after Devin Haney already made weight. So clearly, that was a strategic move by Ryan to have an advantage against Devin Haney. He even admitted it. For the people that's in denial that the 3.2 pounds is not significant, you guys need to argue with Ryan because Ryan said, why would I force myself to make weight so I can be weak? Nah, I'm here to win. That's it. He's telling you if he would have had made weight, he would have had been weak. That's why Timothy Bradley pointed out when you make weight and you're struggling to make weight like Devin Haney, that weakens your punch resistance, your power, your speed, your stamina, your focus, everything. Ryan didn't have to do that, so that was a hell of an advantage. Now here's a little portion of what Timothy Bradley had to say. Check it out.
Because the weigh-ins is actually where you can see, all right, is my pick right or is my pick wrong? Ryan Garcia didn't make the weight, people. I don't care. Like, you have a contract to make a weight. And I don't think Ryan Garcia intended to make the weight at 40 pounds. You know, even after the fact, Ryan was like, well, well, that's why I always fight at 143. You know, there was no way I was going to make the weight. He knew even going into the fight that he wasn't going to make the weight to begin with. You know, which is one, not right. Two, you're contracted to make 140, and you go into the fight now with an advantage. You know, some people say, well, Haney, you know, he took the money, and Haney, of course, he had to, because he was damned if he didn't, if damned if he don't. It's a huge event, man. And now you pull away, now you're going to piss off a lot of folks. If it's only 3 pounds, 3.2, 3 point, whatever it is, if it's only that, why wasn't it attempted to be made? Why didn't Ryan Garcia attempt to make that weight? Because he said it in a tweet. I'm not going to drain myself. I want to be physically strong for the fight. Well, guess who drained themselves to make their weight? Devin the Dream Haney. Ryan Garcia had an advantage in this fight. It wasn't an even playing field here, and it helped him in this fight. He was walking. Look, Haney is not a big puncher, but he's a respectful puncher. But he was walking through his stuff like nothing. I mean, every shot that Ryan threw, it buckled Haney. Even if it was a grazing blow, it buckled him. But I tell you right now, it will be different. If 3 pounds is not much, why didn't Ryan attempt to make it? Okay, because they would have weakened his resolve. There's no doubt in my mind. Now you got an even playing field. Now it's a little bit different. Now it would have took something away from that punching power that he had, because he looked heavy. He looked so dense and so big in that fight with Haney. Haney looked like the small guy. Usually Haney is the bigger guy. He was small compared to Ryan Garcia. And so that's what helped him in his favors. So now I look at this and I go, well, what kind of credit do you give Ryan? What kind of credit do you give Ryan, honestly? How much credit do you really give him when he had an advantage going into the fight? If you had a contract to weight you knew you weren't going to make. In that case, you should have made the fight at 143, but he didn't. That would have helped Haney in this bout. It would have definitely helped him be able to absorb them shots that Ryan was throwing and landed.
Like I said before, at the end of the day, or at least the night, if making weight doesn't matter and you guys want to disagree with Ryan's take, then why is there weigh-ins to begin with? Why don't the fighters just skip the weigh-ins and just fight? That's a rhetorical question. Obviously they matter, and that's why they part of the rules. Ryan broke the rules, which is why Timothy Bradley said he doesn't have to retire, because Devin didn't lose to Ryan Garcia on an even playing field. And for all of the fans that's going to accuse Timothy Bradley of hating on Ryan Garcia, Timothy Bradley is not alone in this. Every single fighter said the same exact thing. They even said if Devin Haney came in at 143.2 just like Ryan, he would have had beaten Ryan that same night. That's how significant the last 3.2 pounds are when you are cutting weight. We're not talking about when you're rehydrating back up. Absolutely not. We're talking about when you are cutting weight. The 3.2 pounds advantage from cutting weight is 90% more significant than the 3.2 pounds Ryan gonna gain when he rehydrate back up. You guys have to realize the difference. If you compare rehydrating back up to cutting weight, that's equivalence of the cherry on top. The rehydration is the cherry on top. Cutting weight is the whole smoothie. No diddy. The cutting process is what we talking about. So if you don't even know what we talking about, that's how clueless you are of how much an advantage Ryan Garcia had against Devin Haney when they fought. If you go watch any interview of any fighter speaking on this subject, he will tell you the exact same thing. In fact, on Miller City Boxing, I'm going to just play you two fighters who co-signed everything Timothy Bradley had to say. Jojo Diaz and Mickey Bay. Check it out.
I'm saying he came in at over the weight, like, which is crazy. Yeah, like it's kind of like, damn, did you just said I'm gonna come in stronger than this cat and make him make weight? That's kind of, but they accept it. Then it's like you giving them that advantage,
Right.
So that was an error on my part, in my opinion. But honestly, maybe I ain't gonna say he got taken kind of lightly, but them 3.2 pounds is a lot. If you come to any fighter that's making weight and tell them, oh, you good, you got an extra 3.2 pounds, they're gonna be like a kid in the candy store. You know that from having boxing experience, how each pound is an advantage. But the only thing is they accepted the terms. So that kind of the money kind of looked good at that time. That 1.5 looked good, but in Ryan's mind, he probably like, oh, I'm about to be stronger than this cat. I'm about to let him drain himself, make the weight, but I'm just chill and eat a little bit, and and I'm gonna just go ahead and get these extra pounds and go in and go for the, Ryan did what he's supposed to do. I take my hat off to the way that he fought, because we talked, and I was saying that shit.
He had a lot of leverage, man, going into the fight with not making the weight at 140, and then having Devin drop all the way down to 140. That is a major factor going into the fight, because your body has depleted those extra 3 pounds, and you have to work. You have to work, man. You have to run. You have to hit the sauna. You can't eat. You can't drink. So your body's all depleted for those 3 pounds. So it's very deteriorating on your body. And he had a major upside, man. But he went out there and he executed exactly what he had to do. I mean, they fought 6 times in the amateurs, and you could see that they were comfortable inside the ring going in there, Ryan, and he already knew what he had to do to fight, to execute Devin Haney, and he did it beautifully Saturday night.
I'm gonna leave it at that, because every fighter said the exact same thing. If I be playing audio of different fighters that said that, I will be playing audio all day. This is why the rematch makes sense. Either at 143, however, Devin Haney has to make sure Ryan is going to make the weight, or at 147. Make it happen. I think the rematch is bigger than the first fight. I believe the rematch is going to be even bigger than Tank versus Ryan, since everyone believes in Ryan now. Before the fight, nobody believed in him. I'm pretty sure a lot of fans streamed the fight too. However, the rematch, that's a different story. Ryan could make a bank out of this fight, due to the fact he's going to have a huge percentage split in his favor. On top of that, even if he loses, he can have a trilogy later on. So this is a no-brainer to me. I mean, people can say whatever they want to say about the weight. However, that's a fact. That's not an excuse. There's a difference between an excuse and a fact. Ryan didn't make the weight. He missed weight by 3.2 pounds. That's a fact. Did it give him a huge advantage? That's a fact. Ryan said it would have made him weak if he made the weight like Devin Haney. So clearly Ryan broke the boxing rules. That's a fact. If fighters don't follow the rules, then you can kick during a fight, so what? You don't have to follow the rules, right? Fighters don't have to make weight. You could just skip the weigh-in, so what? The rules don't matter, right? If that's the case, fighters can elbow, they can throw low blows, they can do it all. The difference between a street fight where you can throw a low blow, you can throw a kick, an elbow, you can throw a rock, whatever, right? The difference between a street fight and a boxing match is that there are rules in place. However, Ryan did not follow the rules against Devin Haney, is what Timothy Bradley pointed out, which is why he's not going to retire, because in his mind, he wasn't wrong. All of the above is the greatest recipe for one of the biggest rematches of all time. This rematch is a no-brainer. I believe Ryan will fight Devin Haney again. It makes sense for him, and it does make sense for Devin Haney. We're talking about two guys who fought 6 times in the amateurs, so they can easily have a trilogy in the pros, as they should. All that aside, you have to give credit where credit is due in terms of Ryan is not as naive as he tried to portray himself to be. This kid is smart, man. He tricked the public. He tricked Devin Haney. He fooled everybody. He used different tactics, unorthodox. He beat Devin Haney outside of the ring and inside of the ring. He outsmarted the man. He had Devin Haney emotional. Meanwhile, he was cool, calm, collective, and ready to do the business. That's a guy you got to watch out for because he's always going to be dangerous against Devin Haney in any fight. You also have to respect Ryan for wanting to fight the best. Win or lose, he don't care. He just want to see how good he is. Because when he fought Tank and when he fought Devin, he admitted that he didn't care if he won or lost. He just wanted to fight the best. So you have to respect a fighter with that mindset. Regardless of their antics, regardless if they make weight or not. I mean, that do matter like I pointed out before 1,000,000 times. However, it's up to Devin Haney to make sure they fighting on an even playing field like Tank did. He has to make sure things are in place for that to happen. However, Devin Haney took Ryan Garcia lightly. And I'm not talking about in terms of preparation. I think Devin Haney trained for Ryan Garcia harder than ever before or the same as anybody else. What I'm referring to is he underestimated Ryan Garcia's skill set, his ability, and how good he is as a fighter. I remember Devin Haney said leading up to the fight, Ryan haven't improved since they fought in the amateurs. This is why he kept calling him a C-level fighter. But on fight night, he noticed that Ryan is much faster, stronger, and hits way harder than he did in the amateurs when they fought. Ryan has tricks up in his sleeves. He has experience. He has a lot of different things like timing that surprised Devin Haney on fight night. And Devin Haney realized all of that too late. Nevertheless, let's see how the rematch plays out when it does happen, if it does happen. With the facts being laid out, drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below. And to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV. Peace out. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Let's go. Okay, I'm so glad people that I'm gonna mention: Paulie Malignaggi, Timothy Bradley, Chris Algieri, Steve Kim, maybe Mario Lopez, maybe, but they're all pieces. Okay, and I'm so glad we lost and Brian proved them wrong. Yeah, Timothy Bradley, something.
Yeah.
Come on, Ryan.